Hello, hi, this is Alvin here, and welcome to the TradeYourEdge.com YouTube channel. Firstly, a very happy new year. Hope you had a good break over the Christmas, and with the market being a little bit quiet, it's a good time to set New Year resolutions, to review your tradings for 2020 and whatnot. All right. Likewise, I have been working on figuring out how to pass on more information to readers and viewers like you. So I hope we've got something exciting coming up this time around. With that, very quickly, I'm just going to go back to my usual routine. First off is the euro dollar. Oh, sorry, before I continue, just to take note, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Make sure to uh, click on the notification button at the bottom of this video. And take note for this week or from 2021 onwards, I'm going to start commenting and reviewing some of the crosses, currency crosses that you may or may not be trading. So I'm just trying to expand a little bit more on my commentary to give you a better variety of how price action work and how I trade the market and how I review the market. Okay, hope you find this exciting. All right, so with that, euro dollar. So euro dollar in front of me, I have the weekly chart. So just to zoom out, this is the monthly chart. And for those who are new, this is what I've been watching very closely. So just to give you an idea, the downward channel has been drawn based on a few touches, 1, 2, 3. So I typically would encourage at least 2 or 3 touch. 3 touch would be perfect, 2 would be okay. In this case, there are about 3 to 4 touches, and this gives me a very solid downward trend line. And at the bottom of it, there is the pair, which creates a channel. So since the peak in 2008, the euro dollar has been moving downwards ever since then. If you follow my materials, I'm a big fan of price action, and the way I know it's a downtrend, it's typically it takes within seconds. It goes from the top left to the bottom right, as simple as that. What I also look for is lower highs and lower lows, which I have confirmation. So very nicely, price started to turn around when I had this indication, which is a new higher low, right? So that low is higher than this low. Okay. Now price is breaking outside the channel. That's the first indication. What would be very good is if price move above this 1.24 or 1.25 level, and that will give me a new higher high. And that's a confirmation of a reversal pattern. Of course, price could hover around this area and then it would give me a range. That's also absolutely possible. But this, hey, let's be clear, we're looking at a monthly chart. Things can happen as we go along. However, the signs are already clear. I have a new higher low. I have a break of the pattern, and if I move into that, price broke out of the channel during the COVID-19 period in 2020. Price was just ranging. Bearing in mind there was the U.S. presidential election, and that also gave a bit of choppiness. However, if I were to zoom in very clearly, price broke out of my range with strong conviction, and price has moved higher. Having said all that, the price hasn't really followed through very clearly, so I would take a bit of precaution. No doubt my bias is still bullish. What is potentially going to happen here is what I feel it may happen is price could have broke out. It may want to come back to retest this level. So what I'm looking at is around 1.2 level. It might come down, retest it before going higher. What is interesting on top of that is that over Christmas, price gave me a nice inside bar, and this could potentially be a false break pin bar. So this was the last week of December, and with this pin bar, I could foresee price could short in the next few weeks before moving higher or not. Let's foresee. So that's the situation in the daily chart. It's quite nice in the sense that price is moving, so you can see, you can find a trend line within the trend line, and what I'm trying to look for here is maybe I might be better if I use this level here whereby price is just touching this, and okay, this might be a clearer channel that shows me that price is moving outward. So within the 4-hour channel, this would be a very nice channel to trade. It could be moving upwards again, I don't know. So let's see. Nonetheless, I have a higher high and a higher low. And that's how I look at the euro dollar. With that, looking forward to the Monday and the coming week to see what I would get at the start of the week, and I will take it from there. Right? So this is euro dollar. Next, pound dollar. Pound dollar, I have a very interesting pattern. As you all know, I've been watching the downward descending triangle as of the last few weeks. So this is a weekly chart. Price have been giving me some very interesting patterns. It has given me a inverse head and shoulder pattern, whereby this is the left shoulder and this is the right shoulder. And what is clear is that the right shoulder is now higher than the left one. That's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is if I were to move this high, this downwards, I will have a higher low and now a higher high. So that's also in line with the way I look at price action, but this head and shoulder here is it's a little bit promising. With that, you can also see that the last week of December closed with a bullish bar. Of course, this is an early indication, but if I were to look at the monthly chart, it gave me a strong close for the month, whereby the high and the close is very close to each other. So if you can see my my indicator here, the high and the close is literally not too far away. Okay, cool. So this is the weekly pound currency pair. I would move into the daily chart, and that's usually I take my trade on the 4-hourly or the hourly chart. But if you looked at this, price is pretty choppy, so do take note. You want to trade based on a clear signal and make sure you have a good stop loss to protect yourself, but without being cut out. Okay, so this is pound dollar. Moving from that, we have the gold. Gold, as you know, there is a strong horizontal level at the $2,000 psychology mark. What I have done is I have looked at this, and there is a very nice kind of descending pattern. So this could be a descending channel, it could be a descending triangle, not too clear, but it doesn't matter. Clear thing is there is a downward trend. So what is usually healthy is that in every upward trend there is some consolidation. It will take a breather before it continues long. So this is where the consolidation is. Price is just taking a rest. If price breaks higher, this will be a very, very strong continuation of the gold, something I'm looking forward to. Okay, so this is the gold pattern. For those who watch my pullbacks, there are a few pullback patterns to be traded here before it goes further higher. Right, so do watch out. Right, so that is gold on the weekly chart. Right, so moving from that, I have the cross, and for the first time in TradeYourEdge.com channel, I am now moving to a different page where I would be commenting about or the crosses, well, not all the crosses, but a few crosses that are commonly looked at. So welcome to the cross page. First of all, and this will be very interesting because I'm going to look at all the crosses from scratch, because this will give you a clear idea of how I look at price action. I'm not very clear on if I want to be continually commenting on all of them. I may, and if you do have any suggestions on how I can improve this channel, maybe I can break them up into 2 videos or something, do comment in the box below and I will take note of it. Right, so firstly, this is the Euro Aussie. Euro Aussie on a monthly chart. What is clear, or what is not so clear, is that price has been ranging. So if I were to look at this, and I were to look at this is what price has been doing for a while, right? I don't have any more historical data, and I will probably stop it from there. Okay, so this is one way to look at it. I'm looking at the monthly chart, so I don't really want to go too far off. What I could do is I want to see if there's any strong channels which I have here. Well, yes and no. So this is a spike, a huge spike. What I foresee happening during channels is that if there's a huge spike, that's usually an indication of a reversal. Looking at that, my gut feeling is that this could break down lower. So there are a few books on channels. I've not written one myself yet, but usually at the end of the channel before a reversal, there usually is a spike outside the opposite direction before it reverses. So that's just a psychological spike. So what happened here was the buyers broke through it, but very quickly the sellers took advantage and jumped in. And more importantly, the sellers took over the buyers, and now it is a indication that the buyers are ready to come in. So this is a potential reversal. Now, looking at the weekly chart, it's not very clear, but what I'm trying to find is, you can see that the prices are, it might give me a nice reversal pattern, but anyway, so this is okay. So what I'll be looking for is a short continuation. There are a few levels here, so I'm gonna put one here, one here. Oh, it's a tough one. Okay, I'm gonna put one here and potentially another one here. Very difficult. Very difficult. So maybe I'll simplify this thing, and I would just use a clear box here. Right. So there you go. Okay, I think this will be the last low. So any breakdown below this will coincide with the lower part of the channel, and this will form a strong floor, strong resistance level. So I will be watching this space. Right. However, this is a weekly chart, so for those who trade on a daily chart, then do take note. This is where I'm targeting. Okay, so that is Euro Aussie, Euro Kiwi, very similar to, well, I wouldn't say very similar, but there are some similarities in the pattern whereby there's a spike there. I would move back to the weekly chart. Weekly chart, same patterns, no doubt. The head and shoulder hasn't really formed yet. This is where I think the head and shoulder will form. I need a, yeah, price is a bit more bullish here compared to Euro Aussie. If I were to take a shot, I would take Euro Aussie instead. It might give me some better returns. Very similar patterns. So that is how I would look at it. Having said that, there are some strong patterns here. So this is already testing the downward trend. It could potentially be a tilted head and shoulder pattern. There you go, it could be. So this is a head and shoulder pattern, but it's a little bit tilted, a little bit slanted. This is absolutely possible. So this is the left shoulder, this is the right shoulder. Usually this is a reversal pattern, but the signs are not as clear. So if for those who can't see this, this is the left shoulder, this is the right shoulder, and you have the left hand and the right hand. So the right hand will, oh, as you can see, there's a reversing pattern here already. So we'll look forward to, well, potential entries over here. This is also known as this is also a pattern where I can take it based on a pullback. So an ABC pullback could, yeah, something like this. We'll see too many opportunities, so I'll be a little bit careful, but this is the pattern I'm looking at. Okay, so next we have Euro Yen. Oh, this is interesting. So looking at price action on the bigger picture, that's why I don't really trade some of the crosses, because the crosses are, okay, so that's the immediate thing that I'm looking at. Some nasty consolidation. Frankly speaking, I could potentially stay out until there's a break. Most likely I'll stay out until I see a very clear breakout pattern. But this breakout pattern could potentially turn into a range. Having said that, this is a monthly chart. For trend traders, for range traders, you could take this short from the top of this range to the bottom of this range, and that is absolutely valid trade and still very profitable. Cool. Alright, so that is the Euro Yen. Let's go on to the CAD. This is CAD Yen. Strong consolidation pattern. The first thing I see is a nice horizontal here, and then there is a pattern downward. So this is the first thing I see. So as you can see, I don't think much. I look at the patterns to see what we're looking at. With that, this is a descending triangle. Price is consolidating more and more. We'll see if it breaks higher or lower. Too early to tell, but that's a consolidation pattern. And I will leave it at that for now. Not something that I would trade, but if you were to take this, you might take this short until the bottom here, and that's about it. So it depends on your entry. If you can find a good entry, then the returns can be substantial. Next, Aussie Kiwi. So Aussie Kiwi, oh, okay. So immediately I would see, not sure if you can see it, but immediately this is what I'm looking for. It's not very obvious, but this is kind of the pattern I'm looking at. It is moving lower and lower. This is a very nice range trade, so I might, similar to Euro Pounds, this is a range trade that some of you might be taking. Yes, not very exciting for me, not yet, until it reaches the top. So that's what I'm looking at. Now next I have Aussie CAD. Aussie CAD on a monthly chart. Patterns are very similar but opposite to Euro Aussie. Well, not really, but you can see the patterns are a little bit all over the place. So this is what I'm looking at. Not very clear. Not very clear patterns at this point in time. I might, not something that strikes out, so it's something that I'll probably stay out for now. A good potential short if it touches here, nearly there. Yeah, that's Aussie CAD. And we have Aussie Yen. So let's see, Aussie yen. Nothing that shouts out, in my opinion. Some of these crosses are really not something, doesn't have something exciting right now. So I don't think this is something I'll be looking at. No, the patterns are not very clear. It could be a long-term descending triangle here, followed by here. It could be. Nothing, no confirmation yet, but this is a potential pattern on a monthly chart. Not something I'm looking at. Last but not least, for those of you who have been following me, you would have noticed that I have been looking at Euro Pound, and I've left it for the last because this is my final chart. Final chart is such that I only take this range from the top to the middle and from the bottom to the middle. Depending on price action, I might take it further than the middle. Okay, but what is clear is that this is the first pullback. Looking at a weekly chart, this is the first pullback after it touched the top, the higher level. So this is a very strong pullback. If I were to look at the FIB levels, price probably pull back around the 78 mark. Very strong pullback. So take note of that. Having said that, price has given me, well, price is such that if you look at this very carefully, we have an inside bar followed by a false breakup on the top before coming down. So that was the price pattern that happened. And price closed very near the low. So that is a strong indication of a look at the monthly chart. There's a very nice pin bar there where it is very, very bearish. Okay, so that is what I'm looking at in terms of price action. I hope you find this useful. I know this week's session is a bit lengthy, but I hope there is some indication of what I look at in price action and how I get an indication of my directions, and I leave the strategy to yourself. Right? For those who want to know more, make sure to check out my site at tradeyouredge.com and marketapprentice.com. Right? Thank you very much and have a lovely week ahead.